Welcome to another episode of Let the Art Speak, the podcast where creativity takes center stage and art becomes the storyteller. I'm your host, Nadia, and unfortunately, Alonze couldn't be with us today. But fear not, because I have a very special guest joining me. We have our first guest on the podcast. I'll introduce this wonderful woman in a little bit. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of music and art, and having a nice little chat with a beautiful friend of mine. So, whether you're a seasoned art enthusiast or just beginning to discover the wonders of creativity, join us as we embark on a journey of discovery, inspiration, and self-expression. Welcome to Let the Art Speak. Joining me today is a talented musician, an advocate for women in the arts, and a great friend of mine, Maci Jewell. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me on the show today, Nadia. I am super excited about our episode today.
Yeah, of course. The honor is mine.
Aww.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing really well today. How have you been? How's your day going?
That's great. I'm doing pretty well myself. Can't complain.
Good.
Ready to jump right in?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Let's start by telling the audience a little bit about yourself. Who is Maci Jewell?
Yeah, so I have been interested in arts since a young age, specifically music. I picked up cello in 4th grade and continued playing on until present day, actually. And I started chorus in 1st or 2nd grade and continued being in chorus throughout my whole schooling career up until my last years of high school. I just love performing and being able to express myself through music. It was a big part of who I was growing up, and it still is to this day.
Mm-hmm. Music
has helped me through so much and still does. And as I'm older now, I actually figured out that I really love making things. I've done some experimenting with cooking and baking, and I've really found love to it, and it also is another form of self-expression, being able to make things, whether that be a food dish or a pastry, and then sharing it with my boyfriend and my family, and seeing how much they like the things I create. It actually made me realize that I want to open a bakery or a cafe so I could share my creations to more people, and I'm super excited for that in the future, opening my own restaurant, my own establishment, and it's something that I'm really looking forward to, actually.
Oh, wow, that's pretty cool. I knew you always loved instruments and would bake fire desserts, but the bakery part? I didn't know you wanted to open a bakery.
Yeah, I've always had a passion in making things, so whenever I really started experimenting and, like I said, sharing my recipes with people close to me and hearing their feedback, I feel like I could actually take it to that next step and open my own place and actually reach people and have people enjoy my things. And it's so exciting to even think about having strangers try my things, not just my boyfriend or my family, actually having people wanting to seek out my recipes. And I am so excited about that.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Whenever you open that bakery, you better come back on the podcast and talk about it in depth, girl.
Definitely.
But you said something about the cello. Why cello out of all the instruments?
Well, fun story, actually. I started off on violin, and I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. I didn't feel connected to it. So I only played violin for maybe a month, okay, and I wasn't picking it up, and I always was so gravitated towards the cello. So I asked my my music instructor if I could switch, and he let me switch, and the feelings were so much different. I instantly fell in love and became attached to it, and just it felt so natural when I played cello versus when I played violin. I wasn't getting it. Really, I wasn't. I sounded awful. But when I picked up the cello, it was like instant click. I got it, and as I grew with it, I got better, and it became such an important part in my life and who I was. So it's a fun little story about how I picked up on it, actually. I think about that all the time.
I love that. You should seriously start up a YouTube channel for your cello music.
I'm thinking
Listeners at home, I wish you guys could hear her play. It's so cool
Aw.
and beautiful. The music she generates with that thing is nuts.
Girl, let's talk about your drawings, because even growing up, you were such a good drawer.
Bro.
I wanted to try to start drawing, but I never picked it up. But Nadia, she was always amazing at drawing. I was a little jealous, honestly, because
Yeah.
I have some of her drawings saved because I want to get them tattooed because she is just amazing. So let's talk about that for a second. Let's talk about your drawings.
Bro, thank you. Yeah, man, I love drawing. Like I told the audience before, that's literally how I express myself.
Like I said, I have some of your things saved to get them tattooed. And talk about your tattoos. You have so many, way more than I do. So let's talk about those for a second.
So my dad was heavily into tattoos, man. Like he was covered in them.
Yeah, he was.
No exaggeration when I say from head to toe.
Head to toe.
As you can see, I'm not too far off. I love tattoos so much. Not only did he inspire my interest, he was my hero.
Aw,
I know that if he was still here, he'd be so jealous of my body art, man. I'm telling you.
definitely.
We would be trying to out-tattoo each other, but when he told me he drew all of his tattoos before getting them, I asked for a pen and some paper right then and there. And I never stopped drawing ever since. How about you, girl? I see them tattoos on your arms. I wasn't there with her when she got them. Now that I think about it, I'm surprised I've never asked this sooner. What's the story behind these? Spill the beans.
Oh,
They look so cool.
gosh.
Let me see them closer.
Well, I've got 3 right now, but I'll be honest with you, I don't like them anymore. I got these tattoos when I was 15, 16 years old, and I have changed so much right now. I don't really feel like they express who I am anymore. I've got this one on my wrist. It says love. I feel like it just needs to be redone. And then I've got these snakes on my underarm. Again, I feel like they just need to be touched up. And then the piece on the front of my arm, it says this too shall pass. And I do love it, but there are some imperfections about it. Like I said, got them when I was young. Just kind of want to touch them up and bring them back to life and incorporate some things, add some things onto them that really show who I am now versus who little 16-year-old me was.
Yeah, I feel that completely. There are a few that I regret too. Well, not regret, but like, I don't rock with them anymore.
Yeah.
I'm going to tattoo over them at some point.
Me too.
But dang, man, I'm sorry to hear that. But I'm also proud of you for your growth.
Aw.
Florida was a crazy place, man.
Insane.
They let us do whatever.
Yeah, when I look back at all the things that they just let us run around and do, it's crazy to me. But let's not even get sidetracked. Go in depth about your tattoos. Break some of them down to us.
Oh, geez, I have so many. Okay, so I'll point out one of my favorites. Okay, so I'll talk about the one I have on my right leg.
Okay.
So my mom, as you know, she loves flowers. Do you remember when you'd come over? There were flower pots everywhere, bro.
Oh yeah.
So one day
Everywhere.
my dad forgot it was my mom's birthday. And to make it up to her, he wanted to go buy her last-minute birthday flowers before she got home from eating out with my aunt. But of course, there weren't any flower stores open that evening. So he came back and made her a large drawing of a beautiful flower.
Aw.
She came home and cried, so I got it tattooed on my leg.
That is I remember that story like it was yesterday. I remember him panicking when he came home about forgetting her birthday, but she loved that drawing so much, and it's so sweet that you actually got it tattooed on you.
Okay, so let's go back to you though.
Okay.
You stated one of your passions is music. So talk to me all about that, from you at a young age, and how therapeutic music was for you growing up.
Yeah, so like I said, from a young age, I was in orchestra and choir, and I just remember the performances and, working so hard up to the performances and actually seeing hard work paid off. It was a feeling that I can't even describe, just how proud I was of myself, and I feel like I really needed something like that back then as a child. Growing up, it was tough. Not going to go into it, but it was tough. So having that outlet, being part of the choir and being part of the orchestra and, performing and having so many people applaud and congratulate you saying you did a good job, it really helped me out growing up. And then just even through tough times at home, being able to play my cello for hours and, practice and see my hard work pay off, and then singing and being able to express myself, writing little songs and expressing my feelings and my emotions through those songs and just things like that. I don't think I would have been able to get through those hard times if I didn't have those musical outlets that truly helped me just express myself and grow and be okay through those difficult times.
That's so amazing. A little birdie told me that you actually had your first music released last year.
Yeah.
You was actually featured on something.
I was.
You want to talk about that? Your experience making music and all that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a crazy experience, and I'm going to be honest with you, I was scared. I was so scared just recording, and just the thought of potentially millions of people hearing my voice. I was self-conscious about it. I really was. I'd never done anything like that. I'd never done anything as serious as that, actually recording my voice. You'd think that performing for strangers would have prepared me for that, but no, it was such a different ball game. But I really have to give appreciation to my boyfriend Sean for pushing me through that and encouraging me and giving me that confidence. He goes by the artist name L.A. Sean, and like I said, he pushed me through that, and he really built my confidence and helped me just record, how to feel more comfortable, and I really owe it to him for making that happen, and I am so appreciative that he pushed me, because it really is awesome being on a very successful album. We actually hit 1 million streams this year, which is insane to think about, and I really owe it to him for all his hard work in allowing me to be on that album with him. So big shout out to LA Sean. Go check him out, because like I said, without him that wouldn't be possible. So I really owe it to him. So yeah, that's how that went.
That's so awesome. When I was listening to it for the first time, I heard your voice and was like, this chick sounds familiar. And then I looked at the title and it said featuring Maci Jewell, and I was like, bro,
Yep.
What? How in the world? And then I hit you up that same exact day, didn't I?
You did.
Blowing your phone up, asking about if it was really you.
I thought something
When I
was
say
wrong.
I was freaking out, bro, that's not an exaggeration.
You really were.
I've
Not
been listening to
exaggerating.
this artist for a minute now, and to just hear your friend's voice on one of their songs is nuts. And the fact that he's your boyfriend is crazy too.
I know. It's so surreal to think about, even the story of, meeting him and figuring out he was an artist. That's a whole crazy story. But I mean, I had an experience where one of my friends down from Florida actually hit me up saying same thing, like, hey, is this you? And she was over at her friend's house, and one of our songs was on her friend's playlist. So just insane how fast it reached people, and not only people, but people I know from different places in the world. Like, I was getting messages about it, and it was so surreal. Like, I was like, is this even happening? Pinch me. But it like I said, it is such a lovely experience. I had a blast recording. Once I kind of got comfortable, I loved it, and I loved being a part of his album because of his message to people and what he's trying to do with the album and what he's trying to achieve. I was just so blessed, so grateful to be a part of it. And it's even crazy that you knew him before we even got together. I mean, that's crazy. We've been together for 3 years, so it's just insane to think about how music and art can connect people from different parts of the world, and even somebody that you might know. So that's insane to think about. It really is, Nadia.
But dude, we need to seriously talk about that bakery, man. I don't understand. Yeah. Talk to me about that journey.
So a lot of it is still in the works and in conversation, but I am hoping to actually have an up and running location in the next few years, really. I mean, the sooner the better, but there are a lot of steps to it. It's not as simple as baking pastries. You have to have the business aspect and find a good location, and there's a lot of it that's still up in the air, but it will happen, girl. I am determined. I'm passionate about it. And then I have, like I said, I've got my boyfriend by my side, so I know that we will definitely make something work, because it is truly something that I love doing and that I'm passionate about. So expect that here within the next upcoming years. In the near future, we're definitely going to make something happen. And then eventually I would like for it to grow into a franchise and have multiple locations open. I really am aiming big with this, because it is something that I'm truly passionate about, and I'm gonna make it work, girl. Trust me, I'm gonna make it work.
See, this is why I love art so much.
Me too.
It's not only therapeutic, but genuinely the best productive way to spend your time.
It really is.
Just talking about art and its effects. Man, it shoots happiness through my body.
I know.
Even if my tone doesn't sound too happy. But all jokes aside, art is such a beautiful thing. Where would we be without it?
Right.
Honestly, I'd probably be a zombie, walking around glued to my phone all day.
The Walking Dead.
I mean, I do that already, but art pulls me out of that zombie mindset. Anyway, I know you have a busy schedule, Maci, so I just want to take a moment and thank you for coming out this way to have this talk, and for taking time out of your day to be a part of this episode.
Oh, Nadia, absolutely. Whenever I received your text saying you wanted me on the episode, I lit up, marked my calendar off, told everybody to leave me alone for the day, because, we've been best friends since 7 years old, and I love seeing what you're doing in the art community. I love seeing the changes you're making, and even when I found out that you started a podcast, I was so proud of you, and the fact that you wanted me on really means a lot to me. So of course I would clear time out of my day to come talk to you about something we're both passionate about, something we have both connected on throughout the years. So the honor is truly mine, and I truly, truly, truly appreciate you and Alonze allowing me to be on the podcast. Not only that, but to be the first guest. It truly is an honor.
I always love having these talks with you, and it was seriously an honor having you as our first guest. I hope those listening at home enjoyed Maci as much as I did. Just a nice friendly talk and a nice little jab into an artist's creative thought process and their journey. Exploring the many ways that art impacts lives. Art holds tremendous power to impact our lives in so many ways. And as we wrap up, we want to thank you, our listeners, for joining us on this journey. Your support and enthusiasm mean the world to us. And remember, art has the power to inspire, to heal, and to connect us in ways that words alone cannot. So let's continue to let the art speak and to celebrate the beauty and diversity of human creativity. Until next time, keep creating, keep inspiring, and keep letting your art speak. Take care, and we'll see you in the next episode. That was pretty good, Maci.
Thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode of Let the Art Speak. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and give us a follow. You'll be notified and up to date with updates, episode drops, and news, so you never get left behind. For a little more art magic, follow our socials or visit our website. Continue to let your art speak, and we'll see you next week.